Alright, are you guys ready? It's time to sit down and watch Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. Ra's al Ghul was kind of a dick, wasn't he? Anyway, guys, that was Batman Begins. Probably, that was the Batman movie that reintroduced me to the character again. I remember for so many years, I wanted a good Batman movie, and then all of a sudden, I see this trailer one day in the movie theater, and then it turns, I didn't know what it was, and I was like, what is that? And then I see the Batman mask, I'm like, whoa, they made the Batman movie that I want. Anyway, Batman Begins it's arguably my favorite of the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, and on a technical level, I understand that the other two are a little bit more superior, but story-wise, this one just felt the most solid to me, because you introduce Bruce Wayne and you really get behind him because he's not just some rich asshole who goes out and buys a bat suit and becomes Batman, you know? He's gritty, he's raw, he actually went through the process of learning the criminal mastermind and putting himself in these situations. I mean, Bruce Wayne went to prison in this movie, okay? He wasn't little rich boy who lives in a mansion. He was an inmate about to be taken advantage of, and he had to fight every day to survive. So with that Batman Begins, we wouldn't have gotten this movie, The Dark Knight. Now it's time to watch this damn thing. Now I've seen this thing in the theater probably about 5 times, and we'll talk about it after the movie. Let me put this in, hang on. So anyway, guys, The Dark Knight. You know, a movie that basically went bigger and better in every aspect it possibly could have compared to its predecessor, and that's Batman Begins, which, by the way, I still like Batman Begins just that much more than The Dark Knight, just because of the origin story, but I love this movie. I always have. I remember seeing it in the theater, you know, several times, 5 at least, and it's basically a crime drama gangster thriller, and you put Batman into the middle of it. And now one thing I wanted to say about this movie was one thing that always bothered me about this movie, and it's going to seem kind of odd and bizarre, but here's the thing. Harvey Dent as Two-Face. Now, Aaron Eckhart, I liked him playing Harvey Dent, didn't mind it. I liked the character of Two-Face, but the design of Two-Face as the villain, you know, when he actually gets burned and he becomes Two-Face, that would have been fine. Had he died in the hospital bed looking like that, okay, fine, okay. But in a Christopher Nolan grounded to reality universe, I didn't buy his character walking around missing half of his cheek and his eyeball about to fall out of his head, you know, killing people for, you know, a couple days. I didn't buy into that. But then again, I guess you could say, oh, the thing that was driving him and motivating him was, you know, revenge, and that's why he was still alive, even though he felt all the pain. But I'm sorry, that eyeball in his head, man, that thing looked like it was about to fall out. And I'm going to put this thing in now, so here we go. That was my Joker impression, not very good, I know. Alrighty, so The Dark Knight Rises. You know what? I just watched this movie for the first time on Blu-ray, and I'm going to say I was very impressed with it. By the way, I have, well, by now, I have my all-new Blu-ray review for this movie. Click this link right here, go check that out. I will talk all in depth about the picture quality, the audio, everything to do with this Blu-ray, including bonus features. But for the movie itself, to me, this was, I guess, overall the most well-rounded Batman film. Another thing that I really liked was they put Catwoman into the movie, and the thing about Catwoman is because she can really bring out the best of Bruce Wayne and Batman, because what Catwoman does is she gives Batman someone to socialize with. Now it's time to kind of get in depth about this movie. Now you have the pit scene where Bruce Wayne's down in the prison pit / well, and he's being, you know, held there to die, basically. Now, a lot of people pick that scene apart, and I understand why. I get it. I've seen it 4 times now, and it is kind of out of place with everything that's going on. It's almost a little too much to swallow. But you have this very realistic Christopher Nolan universe, and then you kind of have this well that prisoners are kept in, but there's a town right over there. And it's kind of like, how has someone not came by that well and heard people down there screaming and then just push the rope down there? Okay, you guys want to come up now? It's really not that hard to escape. You just need the rope. And one more thing I wanted to say as I itch my eye is in The Dark Knight Rises, you have the big epic fight between Bane and Batman in the towards the beginning of the movie. And at the end of the movie, there's kind of a more of a lackluster confrontation between the two. And I wanted to point out this. I remember watching a lot of spy footage when they were filming The Dark Knight Rises on the streets of Pittsburgh. And I remember watching one spy footage cam showing the fight between Batman and Bane that takes place on Wall Street or whatever. And they're fighting for like 5 minutes. There's this long choreographed fight scene and the camera's moving all around. But in the movie, you only see like 5 seconds of that. And it almost seems like they cut a lot of that fight out. Even watching the movie, it feels like there was a few scenes that they cut out in that fight scene on the steps. Maybe they didn't, but it seems that way. It seems like it was shortened up a little too much. I don't know why they did that, or maybe if I'm talking out of my ass right now, but if anybody's a fanboy and has watched those spy footage cams of that fight, and then you watch it in the final film, it really does seem like something was missing there. And if, like I said before, if you guys want to join me for the Blu-ray review of this, where I talk in depth about it, click up here, and we'll talk more about the Dark Knight Rises Blu-ray and the picture quality. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.